Hollywood is in shock, and so is Regina King. Just moments after the heartbreaking news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's sudden passing hit, insiders say Regina collapsed, overwhelmed by disbelief and unable to keep it together. But what's the real story here? Why did Malcolm's death hit her so much harder than anyone could have expected? Hold tight, because the truth behind their hidden connection is about to blow your mind. Regina King, an Academy Award-winning star known for her strength and grace, was left shaken and inconsolable upon hearing the tragic news of Malcolm's unexpected passing. To the public, it was just another devastating Hollywood loss. But for Regina, this was something much deeper. Their connection wasn't just professional, it was emotional, unsaid, and rooted in years of shared history that only a few people knew about. You see, behind all the glitz of the red carpet and flashing cameras, Regina and Malcolm had a quiet yet powerful relationship that shaped their lives in ways we're only starting to uncover. From their early days in the industry, their bond grew stronger with each passing year as they navigated the highs and lows of Hollywood together. They shared more than just professional moments, they had a deep understanding of each other's struggles, victories, and vulnerabilities. Regina once admitted in a past interview that Malcolm made her feel safe, something no one else had ever done. Their relationship, though never fully public, was genuine and unspoken, one that most never saw but that had an impact that couldn't be erased. From their early days in Black Hollywood to the private and public roller coasters of life, Regina King and Malcolm-Jamal Warner's paths crossed more than anyone realized, and their bond was far deeper than any headlines ever captured. This wasn't just about fame and glitter, no. It was about a complex love story that remained largely untold. Stick around, because what Regina revealed to close friends in the hours after Malcolm's death will shock you, and it all ties back to a promise she made him years ago. This isn't just about grief, this is about love, loss, and the words that were left unsaid until it was too late. But hold on, here's the real bombshell, the part nobody's talking about yet, and it shifts everything. It was a love that almost was the quiet, hidden connection between Regina and Malcolm. Before the world saw them as separate Hollywood icons, Regina King, the powerful, commanding force, and Malcolm-Jamal Warner, forever etched as the lovable Theo Huxtable, shared a bond that went unnoticed. Their relationship wasn't some tabloid drama or a PR stunt. It was genuine, rooted in mutual respect and understanding that never needed to be broadcast. It was the real deal, genuine. The kind of connection that grows slowly but deeply, built on mutual respect, endless conversations, and years of shared struggles in an industry that wasn't always kind to Black entertainers. Regina King and Malcolm-Jamal Warner started dating in the late 2000s after years of casual run-ins at events, panels, and gatherings with mutual friends. At that point, both had just come out of complicated relationships. Malcolm had kept a low profile after his high-profile romance with Michelle Thomas, while Regina had just finalized her emotionally draining divorce from Ian Alexander Sr. What really brought them together wasn't just physical attraction, it was about healing. They understood each other's scars in a way no one else could. Regina once shared in an interview that Malcolm made her feel safe in a way no one had before. He wasn't about the flash and glam. He was steady, present, and a true pillar of support. Their relationship was kept largely private, and not because of any drama, but by choice. They didn't flood social media with selfies or walk hand in hand at every event. Their love was sacred, quiet, and real, just the way they wanted it. For Regina King and Malcolm-Jamal Warner, love wasn't some public spectacle, it was sacred, quiet, and meaningful. But those close to the couple knew this wasn't just a fling. It had the potential for forever. However, even with the depth of their bond, things didn't last. In 2013, they reportedly called it quits. There was no messy drama, no public fallout, just life pulling them in different directions. Regina threw herself into her directing career, while Malcolm continued to focus on his music and acting. Neither of them ever publicly dissected the breakup, but here's the jaw-dropper. They never stopped talking. Yep, despite the split, Regina and Malcolm kept in touch. Insiders revealed that they maintained a private communication line, always checking in on each other's milestones, family events, and emotional struggles. And here's where things take a dramatic turn. the final call. Regina's words just days before Malcolm's tragic death. As news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's shocking and untimely passing spread like wildfire, fans were blindsided. But Regina? She felt the weight of it more than anyone could ever imagine. But for Regina King, this loss hit harder than the public could ever comprehend. Sources close to her revealed that just days before Malcolm-Jamal Warner's tragic drowning, they shared what now feels like an eerie final conversation. It wasn't anything dramatic, just a simple check-in. Malcolm sent Regina a voice message, congratulating her on her recent success as a director and expressing how proud he was of her strength and resilience over the years. Regina, moved by the unexpected message, responded with warmth and gratitude. An insider revealed that Regina confessed she had been thinking about Malcolm a lot recently and admitted that a part of her still felt deeply connected to him. That message, now forever etched into digital history, turned out to be the last time she heard his voice. As news of Malcolm's untimely and shocking passing spread like wildfire across the internet, fans were blindsided. But for Regina King, the grief cut far deeper. She wasn't just mourning a colleague or a friend, this was a loss of something far more profound. Just days before Malcolm-Jamal Warner's tragic drowning, Regina King and Malcolm shared what now feels like a chilling final conversation. It wasn't anything over the top, just a casual check-in. Malcolm reportedly sent Regina a voice message, congratulating her on her recent success as a director and telling her how proud he was of her strength and resilience over the years. Regina, deeply moved by the unexpected message, responded warmly, as if everything was just as it always had been. An insider revealed that Regina told Malcolm she had been thinking about him a lot recently and that part of her still felt a strong connection to him. That message, now a permanent part of digital history, was the last time Regina heard his voice. When news of Malcolm's death broke, Regina was in the middle of filming an independent project in New Mexico. Eyewitnesses say she was filming a scene when her phone rang, and when she saw the message, she collapsed in shock. Her team rushed to clear the set, halting production for the day. Later that evening, devastated, Regina reportedly broke down while speaking to a close friend, saying, "I never got to tell him thank you." The emotional toll was unbearable. Regina King later shared, "Not really. He always showed up for me in ways no one else did." Though their romance had never officially reignited, the emotional thread between them had never truly snapped. And now, knowing that thread would never have its closure, Regina was left with a silence that echoed louder than any goodbye. Malcolm's family eventually reached out to Regina personally, telling her that he had always considered her his great what if, the woman he never stopped loving, even from afar. Then came the hidden details of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death and Regina King's private tribute. The initial news reports claimed Malcolm had died by accidental drowning while attending a wellness retreat near Big Sur, California. On the surface, it seemed like one of those tragic freak accidents, something no one could have predicted. But as the dust began to settle, whispers of darker truths started to emerge. Several retreat attendees anonymously came forward, claiming that Malcolm had been acting unusually withdrawn during his final 2 days. One person even mentioned it was noted that Malcolm-Jamal Warner seemed to be carrying the weight of something unfinished. Some retreat attendees claimed he had been journaling intensely, while others shared that he would sit by the water for hours, lost in thought, not engaging with anyone. The night before his body was discovered, Malcolm reportedly skipped the group bonfire and walked alone along the dangerous cliffside trails, known for being treacherous after sunset. There were no signs of foul play. His body showed no trauma, except for the drowning, but a handwritten note was found tucked inside a sealed envelope in his cabin. While the contents of the letter were not made public, a source close to the investigation revealed that it contained reflections on regret, missed opportunities, and the need for forgiveness. In a shocking twist, one part of the letter was said to be addressed directly to Regina King. Allegedly, it read, "To the one I let get away, not because I didn't love you, but because I didn't love myself enough to believe I was worthy. If you're reading this, know that I always saw your light." Upon learning about this private letter, Regina chose not to make a public statement. Instead, she flew in secret to Big Sur days later, accompanied only by her personal assistant and spiritual advisor. According to a staff member at the retreat, Center, Regina spent nearly 3 hours alone at the spot where Malcolm was last seen. She placed a small white bouquet at the edge of the trail, lit a single candle, and sat in quiet reflection until sunset. No cameras, no press, just pain, memory, and closure. Later, Regina shared a brief post on her Instagram stories, which disappeared within 24 hours. It was a simple yet powerful message. A black screen appeared with the words, "You were never just a chapter. You were the book I was scared to finish reading." Hollywood reacts. A legacy rewritten. As the devastating news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's sudden death spread through the entertainment industry, tributes began pouring in from every corner of Hollywood. But these weren't your typical publicist-approved messages. No, these were deeply emotional, personal reflections that painted a picture of a man whose impact extended far beyond the screen. Bill Cosby, despite years of controversy and legal battles, issued a rare public statement through his spokesperson, saying, "I raised him as Theo, but Malcolm raised himself as a man. He was one of the few lights left from our time. This world lost more than an actor. It lost a light." Rudy, played by Keisha Knight Pulliam, posted a heartfelt photo of the two on Instagram with the caption, "The laughter was real. So was the love. I still can't believe you're gone, Theo." But it was Felicia Rashad, the woman who played his TV mom, Claire Huxtable, who delivered the most poetic tribute during a CBS morning show appearance. Holding back tears, she said, "He was still writing his story, and now the world is left to read the unfinished pages. We will not let his voice fade quietly." A private memorial was held at Malcolm's home in Los Angeles, attended by a mix of former co-stars, close family friends, and even some figures from the music industry like Common, Jill Scott, and Lenny Kravitz, all of whom he had previously collaborated with on various creative projects. Director Ava DuVernay tweeted, "Malcolm wasn't just a symbol of Black boy joy on The Cosby Show. He became a quiet force behind the scenes, uplifting the narratives that truly mattered. He had plans, and now we carry them forward." Hollywood's outpouring of grief wasn't just for the cameras, it was reflective, raw, and deeply personal. People began revisiting Malcolm's past projects with renewed respect, realizing that he had been doing the real work long before it was cool. He championed Black stories, supported indie films, and mentored young actors, all without seeking a single ounce of credit. What most didn't know was that, in the past 5 years, Malcolm had been developing a new film, one set to tell the untold story of forgotten jazz legends. The project, reportedly titled Midnight Brass, was still in its early stages but shaping up to be a passion project unlike anything he had ever done before. After his tragic passing, it was announced that the production company behind Midnight Brass would carry the film forward as a posthumous tribute, with plans to dedicate it to his legacy. A final goodbye to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. As the curtain falls on a life that meant so much to so many, we're left with an overwhelming silence. A void where once stood laughter, talent, brilliance, and purpose. Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just Theo Huxtable. He was a son, a brother, a mentor, a poet, a musician, a father, and a beacon of Black excellence that stood unshaken through decades of industry changes and personal evolution. His passing has stunned the world not just because of its suddenness, but because he was so deeply ingrained in the lives of millions who grew up watching him. We didn't just lose a character. We lost a real person who brought authenticity, compassion, and soul into every room he walked into, and soulful energy into every room he entered, both on and off screen. Though Malcolm-Jamal Warner's earthly journey ended far too soon, his impact will resonate for generations to come. His performances, his music, his activism, and his legacy as a quiet yet powerful creative force will endure. As fans continue to binge-watch The Cosby Show, re-listen to his jazz albums, and share his wisdom from past interviews, it's clear that while Malcolm may no longer be with us, he will never, ever be forgotten. So tonight, let's hold our loved ones a little tighter, speak the words we've been holding back before it's too late, and celebrate the life of a man who gave us joy, wisdom, and soul. Rest easy, Malcolm. You are truly one of a kind.